Hello and welcome, this is Mercenary, and we're back with some more BattleTech. In the last couple of videos, I had the toughest fight I think I've had so far in this campaign, and we were victorious, but it did result in some damage to our mechs. Fortunately, it was minor, but we are going to have to repair that here. But before I do that, let's go to the store, as I would like to acquire the Griffin, as I have an idea of something I'd like to do with this. With what slots we have available, I think we can make this a really damn effective mech. So let's go ahead and buy it up. It is going to be expensive to do so, but there we go. Griffin 1Ns use their jump jets to stay at range and pelt their opponents from relative safety. 1Ns can run hot if they spend all their time bounding around the battlefield taking pot shots though. Well, we're not going to be using it as we would in the default configuration because we're going to refit it pretty extensively. But let's get to the mech bay and do some repair work here. So let's start off with the Jenner. We took some internal structure damage because we overheated the mech. Repair that, which is going to take a couple days. I'll change the priority of things as once we're all done. Centurion took a little bit of beating, but fortunately nothing major was lost, so we just have some internal structure repair. We have to do the same thing on the Shadowhawk, but I'm going to actually do a refit because I want the SRM6s. The Shadowhawk here is now going to become a backup mech. It's not going to be a primary mech, so we're going to downgrade its armament a little bit. It's going to be the same kind of armament, it's just going to be a little bit less effective because I want these more effective SRMs for the mech I'm just about to use. So let's confirm. Oh, we had a repair. There we go. Confirm. That's going to take 3 days. We also need to rip out the SRM6 from the commando, I believe it's in.
I'll get it in the schedule.
Yeah, there it is. So we'll rip that out. And if I'm lucky, yeah, it does indeed take the thing out immediately. So we're good there. Okay, so that's done. Firm, that's going to take 2 days. This is a backup mech though, so
On it. I'll let you know when that's
now let's get on to the Griffin. I have everything else I need to do this job, so let's refit. As I said, this is going to be an extensive refit. We're going to rip out every weapon system that's currently in the thing. Now the big downside of the Griffin is the fact that all of its mounts are on one side. So if you take out this right torso, you take out all of the firepower pretty much. So that is one thing we have to be mindful of. But with the setup I have in mind, we're going to be able to do a hell of a lot of damage. So keep an eye on this firepower as we set this thing up. So those two, might as well get the ammo for it while I'm thinking about it. And I think I'm just going to put this in the center torso for now, as I'm not sure where it's going to end up. We can always move it around as we need. And then to finish it off, we're going to fill out these beam slots here, which we need. Well, right past it. Medium lasers. One. Yeah, let's just do this so I can get to where I want faster. Okay. That's done. We can fit a small laser on here. We'll do that for now. Obviously, heat efficiency is a problem, so we're going to move over to heat sinks. And they're in the legs. Let's put some in here, too. We want to have a little bit of protection of the systems that are in the torso sections. All right, so that's going to leave us with a half a ton. And I think we focus that armor in the side over here so that it's not going to be so easy to knock it out. A little bit of more rear armor here. Yeah, so I loaded it heavy on that side, but that's the side that matters. So, you know what? Let's back it off a little bit. I think I want to upgrade my rear armor a little bit. Oops. But we'll keep it heavy on this side. So just a little bit of a back upgrade because we're going to be very close. Now, the way that we have this set up, we're really using close range weapons here. But if we get at that point blank range where we can use a small laser, all of these weapons can fire. We don't have to deal with minimum ranges anymore. The problem's going to be heat, but I think this thing will be a little bit more heat efficient than a Katara would be, maybe significantly more heat efficient than a Katara would be, but the damage is going to be really comparable, if not actually better than a Katara. Now, where the Katara will beat me is in durability. It has slightly more armor, a ton more armor, and it does have, well, we have the advantage of jump jets. So that's kind of the trade-off between the two. I think I have more firepower, and I have better maneuverability, but the Katara has slightly better armor. So I think that's pretty much where this stands. Okay. No, I've never really checked. Can you rename things? Ah, you can. If I wanted to rename this to something, I could. At least I think so. Yeah, I could. I'm not going to, because I don't want to get confused. It looks like you're deleting the entire name. I still want to know that this is a griffin. So, yeah, let's go ahead and confirm that. So that's going to take 10 days. Considering how extensive of a refit that was, pretty good. All right, let's change the priority here. So Griffin is going to be the highest priority to me. That's going to be the mech that I pilot. The Shadowhawk is now going to be a backup mech, as are these other mechs here. And we're going to continue to run with the Centurion, the Trebuchet, and the Jenner. So the Jenner is going to continue to be our scout. The Trebuchet is going to continue to be our support mech. And then the Centurion is going to be that multi-role frontline / support mech. So that's what we're going to go with for now. Okay. Let's move on to... I guess we should do our mech warriors here. So I can upgrade some things. So for me, it's going to be between the guts and gunnery skill. Guts to help us with heat and give us more health and other things. Gunnery skill to give us more accuracy. So recoil penalty. Okay, we get accuracy right out the gate. Let's do that for that reason. All right, you two don't need anything.
Good to go.
Don't need anything with glitch, because I want to get this. We want to save up for that. Decker has enough to get this ability, so we'll go ahead and grab that. Confirm. Then we can't afford anything else. Then Behemoth, we're trying to save up to get this ability. We're not really using the ability at the moment, though, so is that as important right now? I say no. Let's get a little bit more gunnery skill. Because that's kind of how we're using this mech right now. We're using it kind of as a support mech, so the pilot should suit. I mean, eventually, we're probably going to want this ability, but right now, we don't really need it.
Training complete.
Okay, do we want to hire any more pilots while we're here? Then I'll take a look at our contracts. So it'd be nice to have a backup scout or a, I don't know what else we'd need. Maybe a backup frontliner. So this person and this person are the closest, I would say, to being a scout for. So we've got Pipeline and we've got Ruthless. So Ruthless, life of a commoner is much the same throughout the periphery. For conflict and limited resources make for a hard-scrabble existence with few opportunities. So a Regan commoner there. Not sure where I read that because that's the same stock. So technical school and a mech tech. Well, that sounds pretty good, both of those things. What about Pipeline?
Ready for orders.
So entry-level corporate. She seems better in all regards, both skill and actual, background things here. So, all right, Regan commoner and technical school mech tech. I like those. Let's go with that. So we'll hire her as a backup scout. I don't know, as far as experience goes, exactly how much experience pilots have. I honestly don't know if you can see that either. Let's see. So when we come in here, they have to have less than 10,000 for them to get anything from the one thing here. Yeah, it doesn't say what their accumulated experience is, and I'm not sure if it tells me... I'm not sure. I'm guessing it totals up every pip that they have. So, for example, this would cost 400 experience to get, but I don't know what the 2 and 1 cost. So, it's hard for me to say how much experience they've used, whether or not we're going to have any benefit of this simulator thing. But all right, let's move on. And let's take our contract, actually. We should probably talk to the crew while I'm thinking about it, because we should have new dialogue. But I'm not going to do this yet. Okay, that's on Weldry, and that's on Weldry. Well, one's battle, and that makes me a little hesitant, because we just had a battle that was almost catastrophe, because it was, you know, 2-on-1. I mean, it went all right, but it was a hard fight. I don't want to have another hard fight like that if I can avoid it. It is decently paying, though. So it says, we have detected an inbound dropship belonging to the local pirate organization. Our local defense forces and the expected drop area are ill-equipped to handle a lance of mechs. But with your aid, we can ensure that the raid does minimal damage. We'd like you to intercept the pirate lance and destroy it. So, Commander, the pirates wouldn't send a dropship if they didn't mean business. So if we take this job, we should stay alert down there. So in other words, there may be reinforcements. All right, so we have... cease and desist. We have reliable information that a remote directorate laboratory is attempting to reverse engineer sensitive restoration technology in violation of the usage license. They have failed to respond to our communications that they cease and desist these unlawful operations. Therefore, we authorize you to execute the license termination clause upon the facility. In other words, blow it up. So we don't make as much money with this one, and it's the same difficulty level, but I'm a little, you know, I kind of don't know if I trust these battles anymore. The environment's better here, you know, polar as far as heat generation, what have you. Okay, the contractor does not specify any retrieval, Commander. We are to bring the base down and destroy the tech with it. All right, so we could hit and run if we wanted to, too. So I guess that's what we're going to go for. I'm going to go 50-50. I think the cash is a little bit more important to me because we did spend a lot, and we're going to probably continue to spend here in the near future. So, okay, we're good to go there. Let's accept it.
Roger that, Commander. Course plotted.
Oh, I want to talk to the crew. I'll do that here in a second. Okay. Let's talk to the crew. Start with Darius.
Questions?
Okay, you don't have anything to tell me?
I'll see you.
Let's talk to you. I'd like to discuss the state of the war against Directorate. This is probably different. Commander Gunner, the hero Panzer. A pleasure as always. Is there something I can do for you? Okay. State of the war. Thanks to your efforts, the Restoration Army's push on the capital was a success. And in a single stroke, we've liberated House Decimus, stripped away a fifth of Espinosa's power base, and shattered the illusion of a unified directorate. While our victory was complete, it didn't come without cost. We lost a lot of good soldiers on Panzer, and several dozen irreplaceable battle mechs. It'll take time to replenish our depleted ranks. Okay. Oh, okay, we've got even more stuff here. Beyond the scope of our recent victory, things are murkier. Thanks to the Perdition Massacre, tensions between the Tarians and Federated Sons have risen to a boiling point. The situation is fraught, terribly so. The slightest misstep by either side could spell disaster for us, and for the rest of the Rimward periphery. Okay, what does the liberation of House Decimus mean for the Restoration? Great deal. On a symbolic level, the liberation of a founding house may be the most important step we've taken since Weldry. Make no mistake, the other founding families were watching what was happening on Panzer. If House Decimus could be liberated from Directorate control, then so could the rest of them. And now they know it. There are logistical benefits as well, of course. The traditional seat of House Decimus is Panzer, but its sphere of influence extends into Ryan's Fate, Ringdam, and Mektor. And now that House Decimus is our ally, we can start turning the people, facilities, and industrial bases of those systems against the Directorate. Army lives or dies by its supply chain, and ours has just gotten stronger at the Directorate's expense. This is only the beginning. I actually want to look at the star map too to see how that's changed. Let's talk about the Perdition Massacre. I don't know how much that what Lady Arano's already told you, but still, ask me your questions. I'll do whatever I can to answer them. Why would the Federated Suns attack the Tarian Concordant? There's no proof that they have, only conjecture. Speaking hypothetically, though, I can come up with a number of reasons. Perhaps the Davians want to punish House Calderon for some perceived transgression, or maybe they want the Tarians to fly off the handle and declare war. And they could stage an invasion of the Concordant while claiming self-defense. First Prince Hans Davian is no stranger to international brinksmanship or to the use of unpredictable tactics. He isn't called the Fox for nothing. That said, Protector Thomas Calderon's distrust of House Davian is equally well known. Some have gone so far as to claim that his fear of the perfidious Davians borders on obsession. It's difficult to know how much of this is truth and how much of it is hysteria. What we do know is that something happened on Perdition, and that it cost 11,000 Tarian civilians their lives. Calderon is calling it a Federation attack, and House Davian's denials have been dismissive and condescending. It's an ugly situation that's likely to get uglier. That is where things stand. Why would anyone target Perdition specifically? Because it's a symbol of Tarian independence. The destruction of an SLDF base on Perdition was what incited the Tarian Concordant to withdraw from the Star League. Symbolic target, it'd be hard to do much better. And what are the odds the incident pushes the Tarians to declare war all by itself? That's doubtful. Protector Calderon isn't stupid. He knows what open war with the Federated Suns would cost. And should he forget, there are cooler heads in the room to remind him. His son, Edward, has been a particular help in that regard. Be in much worse shape without his influence, so if he were to be assassinated, that'd be probably really bad. For now, the Tarians are standing on the precipice of a conflict that none of us are prepared for. But without another inciting incident, they are unlikely to step over the edge. Okay. Well, I think that's everything we need to know from him. There's probably more things he has to tell us about himself, maybe, but let's move on for now. Let's see if Yang has anything to say.
You need some work done, Commander?
Yeah, see, it does refresh some of these things, so quite possible we really don't have anything to talk to him about. Okay, let's go talk to Farah.
Yeah, boss?
Don't have anything to talk to her about.
See you later.
And Spire, we may have something for her.
Service, Commander.
Okay, nothing. All right, well, while we're here, let's take a look at the star map and see what the situation is now. So, we took Panzer, and that got this system. All right, so we can jump in. That's where our priority mission is. Okay, Ryan's Fate was one of the ones they mentioned, and Bringdom was the other one. So, before we just had these three systems here. Now we have these 4 that got added on. So, pretty significant territory now. Okay, let's go ahead and get back to traveling.
Network orders complete.
Okay, work on the
Top-notch work, if I may say so.
upgrade is done. So let's go ahead and get on to more upgrades. All right, so we did the training module. I don't know if this will actually bear any fruit now, but I guess we'll find out. So between the things, I wanted to get something that isn't that expensive. So that is not that expensive. That's pretty expensive. That's pretty expensive. Okay, that's fairly expensive. This is cheap, but it doesn't really give me anything right now. I think we go with this one, because it gives us some tech points. So what do we got here? Refit harness. Mechs were not really meant to bear their own weight while being refitted with new equipment. The Argo's mech bay includes harnesses meant to hoist the mech up for easier access while refitting. You always see cables and stuff hanging down from the ceiling and think, what the hell are those for, right? Lifting and turning entire mechs. Get them back online, and we can lift a whole mech. I mean, honestly, I just want to see that happen. Okay. Let's go for that.
Sure thing. It'll take a bit, but we'll get it done.
I think it'll get done before we end up where we were going to go, because, well, it was a 23-day travel. Yeah, it'll get done just in time. Okay, let's continue. I guess at this point we can check to see if any of our mech warriors are getting experience. I think I remember where some of these...
Orders.
Okay, she's getting experience, so she has not enough, so that matters. Medusa, yeah, he was at 1300, so he's not getting any more.
Ready for orders.
And I don't think she's getting any more either, so... Probably not much more experience than she already has is what she's going to get out of this, but it still helps. Okay, well, let's go ahead and continue here. Okay, pirates ambush the Argo. Glowing klaxons interrupt an otherwise quiet morning routine as several fast-moving ships appear, pacing the Argo. Darius broadcasts their hail to the bridge. You're flying through our space, strangers. It's awfully dangerous out here. Just awful. Especially for a ragged-looking ship like the Argo, is it? Tell you what. We'll provide you with a safe passage for a price, of course. While you consider your options, Samire pipes up. Commander, if you can buy me some time, I could do a rapid fire up of the Leopard. I'll teach them not to mess with us. Okay, so we can pay them off, which costs 50,000. Install. But if we're liked by the Restoration, we have this. Broadcast for help from the system authorities. That sounds like a good idea. Okay, well, we don't have any underworld friends, so let's try this. Okay, Darius sends an SOS, and you set about buying time until help arrives. Before long, the pirate captain informs you she's having a bad day and fires a few glancing laser blasts off the side of the Argo to express her displeasure. The whole ship groans as emergency systems activate. Just then, several interceptors arrive on the scene, bearing the colors of the local authorities. With a curse, the enemy captain gives the order to retreat. Unfortunately, it's too late for Ruthless, that's the person we just hired, right? Who is caught on the wrong side of a blast door and ends up in the med bay. Alright, so she gets 2 injuries, and she only has, not that high on guts, right? So, she only has 1 more, because that's a default, right?
Commander.
Yeah, she only has 3 injuries, so, ouch. She's out for 46 days, because her guts is only at 2 at the moment. Thankfully, she's our backup pilot. That would have sucked if it was another one of our pilots. Okay. I'm kind of glad I hired her now. For kind of the wrong reasons, but let's move on.
All hands, make ready for docking maneuvers.
Okay, Jenner's done. Oh. Say it seemed like it freezed there for a second, but that was just the jump.
Undocked from jump ship. We're clear.
Alright, we get Behemoth back, and now we're just on to work on our backup mechs, so... Okay, so that ship upgrade is done.
Online, Commander.
We already kind of took a look at the cost of things. I think we go with the structure repair. Only costs 90,000. It doesn't have that much of an average cost. Crashing a ship into a moon causes all sorts of damage, both visible and hidden. Major support structures have been twisted and weakened, and need to be repaired before any ship systems put a serious load on them. It's unclear which is more terrifying, Commander, the Argo's power systems or its internal structure. You can do very little to improve the ship while it's still in danger of buckling under even the modest forces exerted by the grav deck and the drive. Okay, purchase that.
For that, Commander,
That'll allow us to do some of the other upgrades that we don't have access to at the moment. Okay, let's go back to the Argo and get to the system. Okay, I want to say not yet. All right. As far as everything goes, I think we're more or less ready to go for this contract. But I think I'm going to hold this off for Well, let's see if we have anything to talk about with Alexander and his background. Okay, we talked to him about everything. I just wanted to double check in case we missed. Looks like we covered it all.
Until next time.
All right, as I said, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. And in the next video, we'll launch his contract and we'll see how that goes. In any case, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. This is Mercenary signing out.